Dear Bahujan Dravidian brothers and sisters, workers, students, women, farmers, and young people who carry forward the Bahujan Dravidian ideology. Today is February 1st. Sikh across the world observe the birth anniversary of the revolutionary saint Ravidas Sahibji. But today, we are not merely commemorating a revolutionary, we are here to revive a political tradition. Who was Bhakt Ravidas? Bhakt Ravidas was not born in a palace. He was not born into a family that wore the sacred thread. He was not born into the family of power. He was born into a family of shoemakers. He was born in 1399 in a small village near Kanshi, Banaras of Uttar Pradesh. His community was among the world's earliest engineering communities. They made the shoe for kings. They produced the essential tools for armies too. Yet this very community was excluded by the Brahminical ideology branded as so-called untouchables. Brahmanism is not a religion. It is a social oppression and it is economic oppression. Caste is a political system, a system that exploits without conscience. Revolutionary Ravidas lived by his own labor. He never begged at the temple. He never lived by the grace of Brahmins, nor did he needed to. That is precisely why the ruling power feared him. Because he had risen as a guru of the so-called untouchables. His 40 hymns composed in 16 ragas are permanently enshrined in the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. But Bhakt Ravidas spoke clearly and fearlessly against the caste. He strongly opposed caste hierarchy. He strongly opposed empty rituals. Especially very important, he strongly opposed the ideal worship, birth-based notions of high and low. Yet today, those who claim to follow him are immersed in the ideal worship and Brahminical rituals. Why? Because they forgotten the teachings of Ravidas ji. He said meditation is the truth. Truth itself the path. That is not a prayer. That is not a supplication. That is a truth that dissolves caste. The Brahmins of Kasi complained to the king that Bhakti Ravidas was rejecting the traditions, opposing rituals, and denouncing ideal worship. A public inquiry was ordered. The king declared, whoever loses must carry the winners on their shoulder. Bhakti Ravidas won because truth prevailed. From this victory emerged Begampura. Begampura is not a poetry. Begampura is a constitution. Begampura is a political declaration. Begampura means there is no caste there. There is no humiliating taxes. There is no profession is inferior. No caste exclusion. No social exclusion. Food is guaranteed. Human dignity is protected. Brotherhood is upheld. Above all, Begampura is a direct challenge to the caste-based capitalism. Like Bhakti Ravidas, Bhakti Kabir Das was a great revolutionary. His politics was rooted in love. Kabir said, love itself is politics. Already Guru Nanak Ji was telling to us that he wanted to play the game of love. If you want to play the game of love, that person has to cut the head in his palm. So the same line, Kabir was also saying that love itself is politics. Both lived in the same era. Kabir and Ravidas lived in the same era. They are contemporary. Period. Kabir stood firmly with Ravidas ji. Kabir envisioned Brahmnagar, a city of love. At a time when the Begampura ruled unchallenged, Kabir declared, devotion without love is false. Religion that divides a humanity is oppression. Once again, I wanted to tell, devotion without love is false and fake. Religion that divides a humanity is oppression. That together, the philosophy of Ravidas and Kabir give us one clear answer: anti-caste spirituality. At the same time, we have to understand about Mirabai. Who is that Mirabai? Mirabai, born into a royal family, accepted Bhakti Ravidas as her guru. This made the Brahmins tremble. For them, oppression to caste was dangerous, but the women's liberation was even more threatening to the Brahminical forces. Those in power decided that Bhakti Ravidas had to be eliminated. That's what the Brahminical forces used the story of Sambhuga from the Ramayana as a justification. That Ramayana scripture declared a person of the lower caste should not practice devotion. They asked the Ravidas, why do you not wear the sacred thread? Bhakti Ravidas ji strongly replied, I wear a sacred thread of meditation in my heart. For this, he was assassinated. But they forgot one thing. They could kill his body, but they could never kill his ideology. Bhakti Ravidas' truth lived in a Sikh philosophy. Guru Nanak embraced it. Guru Gobind Singh Ji armed it. Guru Gobind Singh Ji created the Khalsa to protect the truth through Miri Piri, the spiritual dignity and political power. That is why we proclaim in every Gurudwaras, Raj Karega Khalsa. It means, what it means? Justice shall rule. Whether justice rule in this country? So justice rule in this country means that is Begampura Khalsa Raj. I am from Tamil Nadu. In Tamil Nadu, the great revolutionary social reformer Periyar said that God did not create caste. Caste was created for the benefit of a few, and devotion its strongest weapon. The devotion is the strongest weapon to save the caste in this country. Bhakti Ravidas spoke the truth in the 14th century. Periyar repeated it in the 19th century. That is the only difference. At the same time, Manuwad Kanshiram ji declared clearly, without political power, liberation is impossible. If the oppressed have no power, social justice remain a dreams. That is why he emphasized social change, not token justice. So many people are talking about the social justice, but Kanshiram ji openly proclaimed, it was the political proclamation. He proclaimed that social transformation is the only solution for the majority people of this country. At the same time, cultural transformation is the only permanent solution. So Kanshiram ji repeatedly told to that for long-term solution, political power is the solution. For the permanent solution of these people, the so-called Dalits and OBCs and Adivasis, the permanent solution lies in the cultural transformation. The task before us, the Bahujan Dravidian people are in the numerical majority. We are in the numerical majority of this country. They are the owners of labor, yet the minority continues to rule the majority in a democracy. It is a very pathetic situation of the majority people of this country. Our greatest political responsibility today is to abolish the caste as an economic system, to propagate the principle of Begampura Khalsa, to unite a spirituality and politics like the confluence of two rivers, to raise the Bahujan Dravidian people, the indigenous people, they are the Mool Nivasi people of this land, to the position of rulers. Today, the February 1st, we have to pledge ourselves that Bhakti Ravidas did not merely mend shoes. He stitched together the society from a torn by the caste. So the same work Manuwad Kanshiram ji, he welded the caste, welded the 7,000 caste in the name of the Bahujan community. The same Bhakti Ravidas also did in 500, 600 years before. Now the same history asks us, is the Begampura just a song or a system of governance? Will the Bahujan Dravidian majority remain mere voters or become rulers? Those who should be asking these questions are instead busy erecting the statue of Ravidas and chanting the devotional songs in front of Ravidas statue. That is the greatest tragedy in front of us. From today, we have to pledge ourselves. Begampura Khalsa is our future. Bahujan Dravidian rule is our right. Justice and truth are our religion, our philosophy. With this pledge, let us begin a new chapter in our lives of this birth anniversary, Bhakti Ravidas ji. In this, I conclude my small speech in the important day of Bhakti Ravidas anniversary. Vaheguru ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru ji ki Fateh. Shastriya Kal.
We can create even casteless society only by becoming rulers of India.